say we bright and so clever. All them ancient wisdom we sever. Them African proverbs we long forget. What the reason no children now straying? The role that the village was playing, now taken by Facebook and internet. Big threat in this digital circus. It seems we are stuck. Our children now focus on Instagram and TikTok. No more community spirit, even family time long gone. Every hour our children's digits on an iPhone or Samsung. So what's wrong with Caribbean youth? Our leaders now cry. We're like we afraid to face the truth. We still live in a lie. It takes a village to raise a child, the African proverb says. Don't we let social media raise them for days and months and years? The price of all this vast neglect is a widening disconnect. And that is why the next African saying what? A child who's not embraced by the village will grow up brutal and savage and will burn it down just to feel it's warm. Yes, the child ignored by the village will turn out vengeful and damaged and will burn it down just to feel it's warm. And that is why I say wait out any guile. It takes a village to raise a child. If you want to bring them back mile by mile, it takes a village to raise one child. If you want to replace the wrong with a smile, it's time to reach out, time to reconcile. It takes a village to raise one child. Man was made to mix and to mingle, not to remain solo or single. Yes, we are all social animals. Youths without a village as their home will develop a lone wolf syndrome and then might just answer a wilder call. Soon he will roam with the wolf and start causing stress. But if we try to pull them back before they turn lawless, you make the child and not his mind, is what we like to say. But to their bad ways we were blind. They were not born that way. So what's wrong with Caribbean youth? That's the modern cry. But we chased our own selfish pursuits and didn't cast an eye. It takes a village to raise a child, the African proverb says. But with trinkets we just spoil them for days and months and years. A child don't need gifts and presents, just a love, attention and presence. That is why the next African proverb wants it wants. A child who's not embraced by the village will learn to wreck, to loot and to pillage, and will burn it down just to feel it's warm. Yes, the child ignored by the village will turn out hateful and damaged, and will burn it down just to feel it's warm. So when you see them acting strange and hostile, if you want to bring them tame and docile, to remove the hate, the anger and pride, before the name end up on the police file, remember.
All right, yeah, the Fire Press, indeed here in the morning time. The price of neglect. Kaiso. Yes, Kaiso. But then I find, no, play the music in the background, man, everything for. Yeah, I just find it almost the end of me.
Yeah.
What the calypso them there?
Yeah.
What the soca them there? Where is the music?
Major concert.
Ah, boy. You're making noise there while increase money from CDC. CDC ain't not for carnival. But you are a whole year, and you ain't not for carnival either. You rushing up, you going to rush to get something done for carnival. Explain that to me, please, Danny. CDC this, CDC that, they don't know the current carnival, All you have to do is write one to Calypso, as a Calypsonian. 2. That's all you have to do for a whole year. 2. Well, it is 2 months before carnival, and I can't hear not even one of your Calypso. We're blaming CDC who promoting the whole festival. Your cousin CDC, who promoted the whole festival. But you ought to dry up Fluxy Calypso. Can't come out yet.
Really and truly just one you need,
Want to get in, but you can't prepare everything. You can't wait that you can't like vibrating cakes and right there. I want to take it. You can pick one.
One choose the final now.
It's one.
One.
I thought it was last year.
Yeah, let's continue this year.
No.
One to the
No. Let me start to cost this now, man. I need to I need to start to cost this. What kind of one foot thing are they on?
I gotta say morning to Miss Sandy Bay, Veronique Thomas, all parts of Miss Winwood, 2023.
Miss Winwood. Yeah. That lady and pretty daughter. He pretty.
Veronique.
Yeah.
Veronique.
So all of you back in Veronique for Miss Winwood, eh? Yeah. Come with your flag, your rag, whatever you have. Because Chirichan.
Monique.
Yeah. When I bring the breakfast, so come off everything. Lady M, you did not bring any breakfast. Come off I'll be live. Yes, congratulations to Miss Veronique Thomas, the daughter of Lady M, for participating in the Miss Winwood pageant, and we wish her all the best, as well as we do all the contestants, of course. And I'm sure different contestants would have different, their fan base and people before different contestants and so on. But we support them all. All right. But yeah, Danny, I mean, seriously, now it's one song. And they want to increase money for one song. So are they cutting the price money then?
No, it stays the same. Okay. Remain the same.
One song, Danny?
Yeah, man.
Nah, I can't go over that yet. Nah, Danny. Nah, man. Nah, man. One song, Danny?
You said it. You're struggling to do half a song and a half a tune.
Yeah, but no, I don't want it to food jail. That's okay. I am not one of those who don't eat meat, but go and look for things that look like meat to cook. Yeah, that's okay. Good. I want it tofu. One song. I still ain't give that, Denny. If we all sing one song of love. No man. I'll bring back to songs, man. And I'm sure Richard and all the other true Calypso fans and Calypsonian enthusiasts would agree that this one song final thing didn't work.
All right, well, we'll see about it.
No, it didn't work. Right. I was second wrong. I want the wrong that separate the children from the adults. I can't say men from the boys anymore. I want the second wrong that separates the children from the adults. You can't come with one song. One song? What about these surprises? Anyway, I got that to Taju and Shannon McKenzie about writing a 3-verse song and keeping back a 4th verse for the final, because they need some kind of surprise element for the final.
That's what it is.
Give it something. Well, it's Friday morning here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me say good morning to all those individuals who are on the live. Those who said good morning, and I've highlighted your good morning for everyone to see. Keep posting, keep messaging. All right. Is it? It's crackling? I don't know.
It's crackling.
Yeah, but I heard it testing a while ago and it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Gemma must see your Canadian internet, eh? You'll try and come and this our wicked vibes. Give me that. Yeah, boy, I know the crackling truth, boy. I ain't something. Yeah, Gemma, I ain't something. So you're Canadian.
To raise a child, long time parent, pastor to elder, granny, grandpa, auntie, your neighbor used to help them grow gentle and mild. But in this crazy modern times, all that wisdom stopped. To lash a child now is a crime. They could lock you up. But what Frederick Douglass to build strong children than to repair broken men. So, what's wrong with Caribbean youth? That's the modern cry. We're like we afraid to face the truth. We keep living a lie. It takes a village to raise a child, the African proverb says. But we make them, then neglect them for days and months and years. A child who only knows neglect will grow to hate and disrespect. And that is why the next African saying what it wants. A child who's not embraced by the village will learn to wreck, to loot and to pillage, and will burn it down just to feel it's warm. Yes, the child ignored by the village will grow up hateful and damaged, and will burn it down just to feel it's warm.
Well, let's hope they do the crackling that they're hearing online. We're not hearing any crackling
in the air.
Yeah, but let's hope that's
So we are wondering. Okay, we're good now.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good now. We're good now. We're good now.
Nice.
I think it has to do with the cables, because when you play the music and I hear any crackling once you start to talk, which is the mics, then you hear it. But we should be good now. We should be good now. So we apologize for that. So yes, it's Friday morning here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I love to say it's the only Friday I love. Right? Nobody loves Friday more than me. This Friday here.
This Friday here.
Yes, this Friday here. Gemma and Jill and people like me and Denny growing up, we also looked forward to Friday because it was the dawn of the Sabbath and we were able to, go to church and Sabbath was the best day, I must tell you. Best day. But outside of that, we still look forward to Friday because it spells the beginning of the weekend where you can get to relax and get some rest. But the other Friday, the one that speaks in generalities, the one that comes to the people of St. Vincent, the one who comes to St. Vincent, the people of St. Vincent, the citizens of our country, and tells them, give me a lato. Give me a lato. Or let you play bingo. Because you want a chance. No, I know. I thought Kenton chance was fully in the corner already. Did I one chance it on, huh? I don't know. Yeah. But if you're talking about the opportunity to lead this country, you're going to have to come with a more compelling narrative than blame the government for crime, teachers union, public service union, police welfare service, help me to bring down the government. Help me to bring down a duly elected government. Help you to bring down. What do you mean bring down? One of the errors, right? One of the errors made by individuals listening to the lies and the deception of the NDP is that the protest of 1999, 2000, it was 2000, the protests of 2000 were responsible for quote unquote bringing down the NDP administration. That is a lie from the pit of hell. That is a lie from the pit of hell. No protest in this country has ever brought down our government. None. No unions in this country have ever brought down our government. When the teachers union led the charge, protesting the greedy bill in 1999, 2000, I can't remember exactly when, but it's between, I would say, 2000. They led the charge in protest. They didn't bring down the government. there was a change in government in St. Vincent and the Grenadines after constitutionally conducted elections in March of 2001, and Vincentians voted for the ULP. Never, ever, ever make a statement or repeat a comment suggesting that any kind of protest in this country brought down a government. We never had a coup in this country. We have had free and fair, constitutionally conducted general elections. In 2001, people went to the polls. Vincentians made a choice. And it was after those elections on March 20th, 2001, where the ULP won 12 of the 15 seats, that Dr. Gonzalez was sworn in as Prime Minister, and other members of his cabinet were then appointed. It was not as a result of any protest. No. Even more so. The protests that were conducted, protest action, they served to bring the leadership of the government and the leadership of the unions and so forth to the negotiating table. They were the impetus for negotiations. The elections were called early because of negotiations between the then Prime Minister and the leadership of the union and the Organization in Defense of Democracy, and of course the opposition party took part in those negotiations too. If you aren't careful, the subtle, and in other instances, not so subtle lies of the NDP can cause you to miscommunicate, misinterpret, misunderstand the true context of what occurred in 2000 and 2001. And so the call by the leader of the opposition to the unions to come and work with them to bring down the government is a questionable call. Or, if I would remix the Man Kemi song, that ain't the call. It's a wrong call. What is the leader of the opposition asking the unions to do? What is the leader of the parliamentary opposition inciting in this country? You have tried many things. You tried disrupting to disrupt the order of Kingstown. You tried bust the Prime Minister head. You intimidate the supervisor of election. None of those things work. And you've gone to the court, as Dr. Gonzalez said, warfare, lawfare, street fair, warfare. So now, in your desperation, you've gone to the unions to tell them to work with you to bring down a duly elected government. What do you mean bring down? What do you mean bring down? A few days ago, I was out in front of the complex talking to an experienced trade unionist, former retired teacher, and the trade unionist was making the point that, you know, we were the ones who orchestrated the protest. I said, really? I thought it was Ralph, we the union, and so on and so on. I said, but people can't have the cake and eat it. You can't on the one hand say it was Dr. Gonzalez who orchestrated the process, put us on block roads. And here you are telling me that it was the unions who got together and orchestrated the put on block roads. Which is it? Because both can't be true. But in trying to find excuses for being booted out of office, and the reason why Vincentians have not looked back, listen to me, if it's one thing we know as Vincentians is that we are prone to non-communicable diseases, Denny, like hypertension and diabetes. And salt seems to be a contributor to hypertension. And one of the most famous examples of people looking back is I want to look back and turn salt. So, boss, we are looking back to the NDP. That's salt. That's hypertension. That's okay, we're going forward. We're going forward with Labour. We're going forward with Labour. So you can try to reconstruct, which is what they love to do. They love to reconstruct history. Rewrite history. Oh, it was the roadblock revolution that bring down the government. What? I remember we protested. I remember being out at highway trading with my Toyota Corona. I remember driving in the motorcade, if we call it that, coming in and so forth. I remember participating fully. And when it was ended, we went back to school, and Mitchell was still the prime minister. So we come and tell them the roadblock revolution bring down government.
Let's hear this call. Good morning.
Good morning. These modern day trade union, so-called trade union leader, and put as political leaders can't understand politics is the science and art of management. Is a holistic thing sitting on the molecule of the economic mood of production in society, dissatisfaction and satisfaction of the society. And the people will to abide by the present mood of the political action. They refuse to be ruled by the present mood. What happened in the last election, 2001, was a whole set of dissatisfaction taking place in the society with teachers' union, civil servants, and other people discontent. Parents looking to get the children school. Every day you find, every time school opening, they will set a bacchanal. So there was a whole dissatisfaction taking place in the society, and the political economy was disintegrating, and the opposition, led by Vincent Beach and the merger from since 1994, culminated in the growth of the political organization of the people and the lifting of the consciousness of the people. So the election, 98 election, with a custom jigsaw puzzle the political process. I will set up people name and voting down rivalry. When they're looking for the name election morning, the name they just and the name they are about. Culminating in the political thing with a win. 7 seats, 8-7. And you have about 5,000 people did not vote for the government. Vote. So you find the overbalance and there's a case set for discordant in the society where people refuse to rule in the area, and the government, the NDP, refuse to acknowledge the fact. Don't want to sit down and talk to the union, go in parliament, telling the people them shut up, not a red Muslim for you, and want to get people, want to get parliamentarian and the white market and say pension. Nobody say they ain't supposed to have this based on the kind of contribution people that's making, sacrifice. But listen to the people them who produce the wealth of our society. So the people them protest. And a chariot was made for responsible leadership to ride on. And that is why the Grand Beach Accord and the election where they had so much of discontent that when the election called, the people them vote overwhelmingly. So they can't really compare what happening now. When they just said chop, the government just give raise the salary and all the union them agree. So when we are here, with some people who actually disgruntled, some people really feel that they must have the right to rule our way. They want to impose themselves from where they, and all areas that happening. So that is why you want to have to stop in this, because you have a whole set of people who used to play along in the football fraternity. Now they can't play along in the trade union fraternity and play football again in the political fraternity. Now what happening? But it's good that the education revolution all are begging. The people must take political education more serious. It has nothing to do with party politics, It's talking about political knowledge, so you could analyze the political situation and make correct political decisions. Because politics is the science and art of management. Politics is the new hospital message they bring in. When them had a meeting and say nothing happening in the hospital.
All right, well, we get you loud and clear.
Good policy is good politics.
Definitely. All right.
All right, my brother.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your input. See on ULP, trendsetter.
Absolutely.
The ULP is a big deal.
Absolutely.
The Unity Labour Party, as we said, in 2001, had the mass support and continue to have significant support of the people in Vincent.
Very mass support. Very mass support.
Now,
Very mass support.
As you rightly said, in 2001, the people, the workers of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, totally fed up with the status quo. There was a request for salary increase. Remember what I said?
Yep.
Not a damn red cent for you.
Yep.
But then went into the House of Assembly and presented a bill for significant increases for parliamentarians and their spouses.
You know something similar is happening in Jamaica. You know something? Someone did the comparison. They put everything in Jamaica dollars. All right. They put everything in Jamaica dollars, comparing what Andrew Holness would now make, compared to Trinidad and Bahamas.
Okay.
So Andrew Holness's new salary. Let me put on my glasses because Andrew Holness's new salary will be 25,226,539 Jamaica dollars.
All right.
Compare that to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, who makes 13 million. Half.
Oh, Jamaican.
No, Jamaican. They put everything in Jamaican dollars.
Oh, okay.
Half.
Wow.
And the Prime Minister of Bahamas, who makes 13 million. So the increases in Jamaica almost double what they used to make before. But look at what the disparity. The deputy prime minister. Okay, now let's look at the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance in Jamaica will now be making 21,730 Jamaica dollars. That's compared to $9 million for Trinidad and $10 million for Bahamas. Again, double. A member of the cabinet would make 20 million in Jamaica, while in Trinidad, that same member of cabinet makes 9 million, and in Bahamas, the member makes 10 million. And this is coming after, like they didn't learn from the St. Vincent experience, They tell the unions, calm down, exercise some restraint and so on when they negotiating. Like, gotta be considerate. But no, look at their increases. That is what the NDP of the former Prime Minister Mitchell did. They offered the public servants 8% over 3 years, but then offered themselves 33%.
Wow.
Plus spokes.
Wow.
Because now senators were getting gratuity and spouses of politicians were getting benefits and so forth.
Right.
So imagine you as a public servant ain't getting nothing. You ain't had 100% mortgage. They ain't no low income and middle income homes. You ain't having hundreds of individuals getting assistance to study and so forth. Not happening. Take 8% over 8 years compared to and the comparison not given there. The comparison not given because whatever the government gave to the unions, whatever was negotiated between the government and the unions last year applies to everybody.
Exactly. Straight
But
across
these
the board.
guys say, hey, look 8, but we taking 33. And that was what drove the mass protest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The protest that eventually brought things to such a standstill that the Prime Minister of this country was forced to negotiate with, and then he, just like with Attlee Hall, it was the Prime Minister, it was the Cabinet, it was the Prime Minister. Prime Minister forced to negotiate with the unions and opposition forces. And the result of those negotiations was the calling of elections within a year and a half. And the elections were called. And people voted. The teachers' union didn't bring down the government. The public service union didn't bring down the government. The police welfare association didn't bring down the government. You may well be correct in stating that the majority membership of all of those organizations voted against the government. And that continues to be true up to today. Despite what the leadership of some of those organizations want to tell you and want to do, the majority of their membership still vote for the ULP. So I think the call was probably to the leadership. Boucher, Oswald, I don't know who in charge of police welfare, but maybe the call was for them too. Because last election, Oswald come out, Boucher wants to vote NDP. Straight out. It's amazing that Boucher couldn't say take the vaccine, but he could say vote NDP. Stranger. It's amazing that the leader of the union, the president of the Public Service Union, couldn't go in a press conference emphatically and sit down with his executive and tell them, we advise you to take the vaccine in the best interest of health and safety of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Couldn't do that. Where health and safety were concerned, he couldn't advise his membership definitively. I don't even know if Boucher disclosed publicly to the membership, I am vaccinated. He was. He is. He took it. But I cannot remember whether or not Boucher sat and said, I am vaccinated, and as the president of the union, I am encouraging public servants to get vaccinated. Couldn't do that. But for politics, but for NDP, he could tell you, vote NDP. Stranger. Ready?
Very much.
Very
much.
boy. What a country. And then my friend from the union is watching me in my face, and the former head teacher was there watching me and tell me, oh, the unions are stifled. I said, the unions that campaigned against the government last time, where they openly went and said, vote NDP. Them stifled.
I was making the point, though, that the ULP trendsetter. That's why, what it was, last Saturday, they tried to pull up the book of the Unionist Labour Party with their rally. Brought the artists. You heard their presentations. But every single one of the presentations, there was no compelling narrative as to what the new Democratic Party is going to bring to the table with regards to plans, programs, policies to benefit the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
None.
And in every single presentation, pull down and tear down what is currently happening. The leader of the opposition on Saturday said to people, you know, that, as a matter of fact, I want to make sure that I quote him properly, saying that they're treating the public servants as though they are the enemy. But I say to the public servants, and I've told you before, that the New Democratic Party will bring these policies of victimization to end. As a whole record, the NDP have been playing a old card. The old card have been drawing on over and over and over and over again. The government have demonstrated in no uncertain terms over the last 20 years and counting that is a government for and of the people. And every single person, you don't have to get no party card. There's no red, pink, blue, black, yellow, or green, or whatever the case might be for you to gain employment here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There are thousands of Vincentians who've left our shows, gone abroad, scholarships, bursaries, exhibitions, tuition scholarships. I know why nobody had to present a party card or say, oh, my parents.
That's the biggest bunch of rubbish they just start about.
Well, exactly. And they continue to try to spew it.
Yeah. And people believe it, though. That's the sad thing.
Wow.
That's the sad thing. Because, like you say, I mean, I remember the year Sarah was going out to Taiwan. Mm-hmm. I was at the airport.
Dr. Friday was there?
No, he was not there.
Oh, okay.
And people who don't support the government were there with their children and stepchildren going after Taiwan. So it's a load of hogwash. And people believe it because they want to believe it, not because it's true. Because even some of the individuals who believe, look, two things can't be true, Denny. These two things cannot be true. The NDP says only ULP people getting work. Only ULP people benefit. And comrades complain to me all the time, and they say they stayed away from the polls last election because when they look, it seemed that only NDP people are benefiting, or NDP people benefiting, NDP supporters benefiting more than ULP supporters. And so if that is what we're doing, then let them vote for you. So they stayed away. Well, the two can't be true. You can't have a situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines where only ULP supporters getting work and benefiting, while at the same time, more NDP supporters benefiting than ULP supporters. It both cannot be true. What I do know is true. What I do not to be true is that the opportunities out there are equally available to all Vincentians.
That's the point.
And Vincentians take advantage of them. You know one of the biggest pet peeves we had in the last election, Denny? Coming up the last elections? Prime, you know? Prime grant, you know?
Yep.
A lot of ULP supporters vex, you know?
Yep.
Because they think how many of them applied for Prime and couldn't get Prime and so on and so on. And they could point out this NDP supporter. And I'm like, but everybody applying and everybody has an equal opportunity. The fact that you supported the ULP don't give you a better shot than somebody who didn't. Just make sure your plan, your proposal is sound. You go to the houses. Again, you heard the senator from above the driver making the mute point about whose house is getting fixed and whose house isn't getting fixed. Again, hogwash. Like absolute literal hogwash. And I try to avoid those conversations when comrades come to me to complain, oh, look, that wasn't any. I said, no, I said, but the person Vincent Chan. I try to avoid the conversation.
Yeah.
I try to avoid the conversation. So the NDP, having failed miserably and booted out of their office because they failed, is now trying to reconstruct history to support a narrative that they're bringing in the attempt to get the unions to bring down the government. And part of their narrative is, oh, the roadblock revolution in 2000 bring down the NDP. No, the ballots of the people where the Unique Labour Party got over 30,000 votes. We got over 30,000 votes. We won 12 seats, 55% of the vote. That is what brought down the government. And until the NDP accepts that, that it is the people of this country who booted them out of office, who got rid of them, then they will continue to miss the boat. They will continue to miss the mark, and they'll continue to spend it up in mud.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you why they're asking for the government to be toppled at this point in time. Because they're cognizant of the fact, and Sinclair Leacock said it, that over the next 3 years, there's some $3.5 billion, not million enough, billion dollars to be spent in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it has started with the whole matter of the port modernization that has taken place before our very eyes. Closer to the end of the year, acute referral hospital construction will start. Sandals is moving apace with their resort, Beaches Resort, down there in Bocament. So as the Bajans will say, all this kerfuffle, the NDP, you know.
They were cap investments. They were cap investments because over the next 3 years or 2.5 years, it's $3 billion. But what happened if another investor come in with another 200 million US?
Wow.
Problems.
Problems.
And PM was making the point that no tradesman or casual laborer in this country who wants work is out of work. Whether they're working on a private project, on a government-funded project, or on a personal domestic project, they're working. And that, while it should inspire hope and confidence and so on, it is actually driving fear in the hearts of the NDP because they understand that, look, Friday's call to the unions, in my view, is an admission or an acceptance that they are unlikely to win at the polls. They are unlikely to win at the polls. In a duly constitutionally conducted elections, the NDP is unlikely to win. So the only how they could see government is by somehow engaging in something outside of that. And so you're asking the unions to come and help you bring down the government. No, man. Put out a narrative. Yep, Dr. Friday. Yep. Put out a narrative. Stitch together something that's compelling. Show the people what you're going to do. And tell them how you're going to finance it. I asked the question before, and I don't know if you all thought about it. But there was absolutely no mention about selling passports and CBI at their rally.
Absolutely none.
From nobody at all.
None.
They didn't tell the residents of North Central and North Windward and South Central, who were there in the numbers, that they would be switching from Taiwan to China, and so their children who are on scholarships over there would have to come home. No mention of that either.
Nobody spoke about that.
No mention. Yeah. They're running from their own narrative. You ever see something, let me see like PM, you ever see something like that since you're born?
have a call. Let's see who we have here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Marshall.
Morning, buddy.
And good morning, Mr. Denny.
Morning, John.
How you doing?
Very good. For the time.
All right. Mr. Marshall,
Yes, sir.
let me say to you, the entity would not accept nothing done get into office. That's it, the basis of Dr. Friday. Dr. Friday wants to be the Prime Minister of this country, and Dr. Friday will do anything and anything to get into office. Let me tell you something, Mr. Denny. You see where the opposition boss the Prime Minister had some years ago? That just is smoke. That is just smoke, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Marshall. The NDP opposition will do anything to get into office. They don't care what they have done to this country. They will master everything. They will kill everybody just to get into office, Mr. Denny and Mr. Marshall. Because Christians don't go too far. Because when the opposition people must be turning for hell, and the opposition leader did not equal to this is the wrong way you are doing. Huh? Mr. Denny and Mr. Marshall, the opposition is desperate. They are desperate. So all we got to do, Mr. Denny and Mr. Marshall, is to continue to do, perform good, that in 2025, that, and Mr. Daniel, Mr. Marshall, I am not looking for the ninth victor. I am looking for all. I want all. It's all. Mr. Daniel, Mr. Marshall, we have to do like with Trinidad, Barbados do. We got to work a little more harder to get what we want, and we want all the seats. We don't want opposition. We don't want no wicked opposition. Because this opposition is wicked. They are wicked to the bone, Mr. Daniel, Mr. Marshall. Those who are part. First thing, the opposition could do anything in their power. The opposition cannot do it. All they want is just to get into office, and that's what they want. But I'm calling upon our people. I'm calling upon our intention people to make sure next election that we put back ride the gun down and the Unity Party to govern the country again for the next 5 years again.
Thank you.
Because I know, with the help of God, that Dr. Duncombe and the Unity Party have been doing a good job. There is no other government. There is no other government in Kensington and the Grenadines have done for the last 22 years what this right gun talk government has done for the people of Kensington, the Grenadines. So, Kensington, the Grenadines, we now let you born to go off with the shadow. Do not let me be born and go off with the shadow. Mr. Daniel, Mr. Marshall, have a wonderful day. And God bless you all.
Thank you,
All
John.
right, all right.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
much.
much. Morning, Tika.
We have another call. Let's hear this call.
Listen, I didn't wait. This is my tall boy.
It went straight. Hello, morning.
Jeez. Man, pick a bad.
Good morning to you. All right, see if we've lost that one. The lines are still open. It's 451-7827. One the other thing that the opposition is trying to push. Oh, how things so bad in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The economy, break, nothing ain't happening. But the latest forecast is that we'll now move from a projected 5% to 6% economic growth here in this country. That's coming off a La Soufrière eruption, you know. That's coming off of the COVID-19 pandemic. And you know why there's such a projection? Because already significant amount of construction work is ongoing here in this country. People getting work. Money start to turn around. And there's more to happen. They do not want for such to continue here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's why they're talking about toppling and calling on the unions. By the way, he was even more specific. He said not only just the executive, but on the members. Because they know for a fact that there's certain executives who are clothed.
Yeah,
who wear the clothes
listen,
of the
membership
NDP.
not study them the but voucher and as well. Not even the voucher and as well.
Yeah.
Me body voucher, me body. Not as well, but voucher me body. So the same voucher that went to the union and couldn't tell them to get vaccinated, but could tell them vote NDP. That's what they're appealing to.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Pleasant morning.
How y'all doing?
Good.
We're good.
John Miguel. I remember when Friday took over from you, sir. John Miguel called him to either Star Radio or VFM. And he said, well, imagine NDP got rid of a dead and get a deader. How prophetic that was. Got rid of a deader, got a deader. Look, this guy always trying to co-opt some group, somebody to accomplish his malevolent intention of getting rid, bringing down the government, whatever. Okay? When he's not doing that, he's begging. I remember when Gaston Brown won the election in Antigua some time ago. There was this audio of him calling up Gaston Brown. And boy, how you win? You need to help us tell us how you win, how you get it done.
Who your consultants? Who your consultants? Who you hire?
Begging. I mean, I don't know if I still have the audience somewhere.
But you know something, Carla?
Pretty much.
Carla,
Huh?
what was instructive to me? What was instructive to me was the way Gaston told the story. He said, let me give you a joke.
Ah.
Boss, the man is a joker. The guy to Gaston Brown, Friday is a joke.
More than a joke.
The man said, let me give you a joke. And he proceeded to tell the joke. This joker comes to me and he laughed, boss, you are a joke.
Boy, I hope I still have that audience somewhere. This is funny. Now, this guy is a lawyer, right? I believe. And, well, Dr. Friday, I get that means he's Doctor of Law.
I don't know what this
But
speech is
what
in.
type
So
of law does he practice? Tort, business, banking, criminal. Where has he made his mark?
Passport law.
Well, maybe. Where has he made his mark?
Find out.
I've been sitting on his hands down in Beckway. Okay? Because a safe seat was handed to him.
Yes.
What has he done? Where has he given a workshop, a seminar, a lecture? What has he done to earn his keep? People don't need to wake up and now want to move beyond and be prime minister? Of what? Of where? When? This fellow loves St. Vincent so much. that when the airport was about to open, he wrote to the echo whatever to try to get them not to give permission for the plane planners. And this kind of thing uses that airport. Man, if I were him, I'd fly from back where you and the family to Barbados, to St. Lucia, and go to Canada. I'd be ashamed and afraid to go to Argyle International. And enough of him this morning. I want to go back to the guy that disparaged Ski. I see Kenton Chance has him up on his thing for about a week now. And what he's doing is keeping that as the top story. So when other stories come in, he bury them below. And he's keeping that up there, the flag. You understand? To give this guy some traction. Kenton, first of all, if NDP by some fluke, you're not going to be the first secretary. You're the first board friends with the guy that's first secretary. So, I mean, chill out, right? And for the guy himself, I will call him. You see, because when you're going to disparage somebody like Linsky, I have no respect for you. So I will say this without apology: the charlatan that's promoting himself as some kind of expert and talking about how he work along with top people at Harvard. Who are the top people at Harvard? Call the name so they could sue you. If you think you're going to drop the name of some Ivy League college in America to try to convince people of your credibility, you lie. Yeah? You lie. Convince you.
Oh my God. I ain't even. I don't. Benson, I don't even moving plenty, but you're breaking up. You're breaking up a lot.
You know, you get $1,000. He would have come in with the same results that came in. It's basically sour grapes. I was not consulted. I was not given a contract. So I'm going to try to throw a monkey wrench in the thing. That is what it's about. You understand? You know, I didn't get to prostitute myself. So therefore, I am upset. You understand? He's not convinced. Man, bobbing and weaving like a Baptist preacher talking nonsense. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disrespect Baptist. I'm just his movement. Not convinced. But he's trying to convince you.
Exactly, but that's the point. But that is the point. Who is he to be convinced? Who is he? Exactly. That we need to convince he. What convince he?
Not convinced.
Yeah. Who are you?
Because he's the brighter Bob. He no better than anybody.
Yeah, but Benson, the man come on radio, try to embellish his credentials, but he's an economist. Or he come economist. And he's a climate boss. Why we come economist?
Listen, fellas over there would pull that kind of stunt on, huh? Top people from Harvard. Call some names. Let them sue you.
Anybody tell
Lie.
me?
Charlatan.
Anybody tell me? I'm trying to this. But the thing about it is that, you know, the real exports who know about this thing and listening and paying attention have all said that Linsky's presentation made him look so stupid.
Exactly.
It made the man look so stupid. So,
and you know the other thing, Sian, that the Prime Minister is saying, believe what you see.
But that's the point. That's the point.
Up to yesterday,
I
went and took a peek where that excavator was pulling up the sand on the end by the fishery section.
Mm-hmm.
All you could see, Sian, is nice, pretty black sand.
Yes, absolutely.
Not one straw of grass.
Absolutely.
Sea moss. What you call that?
Nothing. No, but you're right. You're absolutely right, Benson. You're absolutely
point.
right.
I'm telling you.
You absolutely. We went when we were there the
That's all
Monday.
they put in the sand.
When we were there the Monday, we went and had our hand in the sand. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to them things. Like I'm sure to believe, right? I have gone to Richmond to harvest gravel and so forth when we were renovating our house. Them go there and lie, but they say me lie, but I went. I didn't do much work, but I went. I see people harvest gravel. I see sand harvested with shovel and so on up a bayside, and you always, almost every single time, have to sift the sand, not just to get out the bigger particles, but also sand and all kind of thing. You look at that there, and it is, man, look pure,
Clean and pretty.
Clean.
So what he trying to say, the boat has some kind of thing that separates them.
Yeah, like the boat is strain the sand. The boat is strain the sand. The boat is strain the sand. The boat is strain the sand.
The suction bring up the stuff and then they separate out the coral and the sea moss and the weeds and so on and so on. And the fish. You understand? Man. Fella, go fly a kite. Later. Bye.
And this is the season. This is the season for kite flying. Oh, I'm Daddy. I have to say good morning and top of the Friday to Franklin John of Korea. Yeah, Franklin John driving a red man from Korea and the Van Blasting Star.
Nice.
Yeah, the Van Blasting Star.
Gotta reach out.
Yeah, we got big up Franklin.
Franklin and your passengers. Morning too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got big up Franklin. Franklin, keep playing Star.
Yep.
Let your passengers hear the information because listen, the other stations just get vexed and all kind of thing, and they're talking a bunch of lies. Keep your dial right where it is at. Big up Franklin John from Korea.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, my brother. Sian and my brother.
5-star general. He's a 5-star general.
Morning.
Yeah, everybody.
Yes, man. You know, I hear us talking about weapon this morning, Mr. Marshall, about a thing that the government doing, and these people woefully telling lies in front of people's face and said it ain't true. I wonder how these people really sleep and what they're really thinking about. It's just politics are nastiness in their head that they want to get in power so bad to rob a country that they will say anything. You know, no human being is like the people. So, and then it is happiness events alone is the kind of nonsense and the kind of thing that gone abroad and among the people that don't come here and visiting and gone abroad and hear these people talking. I wonder what these people will be thinking about these people. Because you can't be, you are not fair for God, you are not fair for man, you are not fair for yourself because you're totally going crazy over your own lies and your crazy ideas. And then want to run people, say you want to run country. And willfully telling lies from people, telling lies on the government, we government to look bad. So it's like when they talk about jobs, something to put a cap on jobs, too much jobs. Then they come back and say, no job, people suffering. I wonder if these people are really in the head because if a leader could say, well, boy, you know, the Prime Minister afraid to call election. Me not hear no election thing going on in civil so that anybody calling for no election in civil. So
what do you mean afraid to call election?
People afraid to call, if Prime Minister afraid to call election, and I can't understand these people at all. I wonder if them living in a different world, if they are different species and human beings and they understand what's going on and all that, how ought make up and them kind of thing, because these are strange questions. People, when they say bring people in town to live, put them in traffic. These are strange questions that make me, and I show them alone, people wonder, well, what kind of human being you dealing with? If a man could lie in front of your face and want to go back country to run, what are you going to do? What are you going to say when they start to suffer and they had, you can't tell them nothing because they always lying. When they start to be part of the country, you can't say nothing because they always lying. They sticky police on you. And let me just tell Friday something now. Country that has no sense, it's a Friday. You know, liquor is the biggest enemy. That's not only the problem. This is me and Vincent who talking like it's problem. You know, liquor is the biggest enemy. First, you can't run country, you don't understand country business. And you want to put liquor to be Minister of Security. You know, when a man is Minister of Security and he control the police, they go over to you easy. A sentence I have Mr. Friday. I don't understand because he was the biggest Spanish man in the world. In the world.
Okay, buddy, I can't verify that. That I can't.
You can't verify
No,
that, but I
no,
could verify
no,
that.
you know what? Hey, well,
I
it
could
hey,
verify
no,
that in many
no,
ways.
no, 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 hey,
Well,
hey,
that, okay.
yeah,
Let me say you are
we
the
can't
station.
accept that kind of statement. Yeah,
But me go accept that, right?
no, but you can accept
Listen
what you
to
want,
me.
but you can't say it and start.
When it, okay, I go repeat because I love that. But I don't say it already. Listen to me. And let me verify.
Yeah, but it's not only you when you go soon. You go to start one and
Star
me and Denny.
Well, here no man. But anyhow, I wanted to tell him Friday. Oh, backward years. Besides the line that he and the party telling. People are telling lies to no get on government business. Because I mean to say, the Prime Minister doing a good work. The ministers them doing a very good work.
You know that.
And we still been to stand on a very good ground. And anybody at all that have this kind of Prime Minister go on to see them forever doing this kind of thing. But you doing all kind of thing because this big man doing good for people. And your children and your grandmother and your father, everybody is benefiting from that. So that we could buy bicycles, have big cars and all kind of thing and big house. So that is what really Vincent, not to say Vincent ain't no going on, Vincent ain't no going on. But me can't understand how people could be sitting down thinking about getting up in next day to go and vote this fella. That's the only problem because these people shouldn't really get no vote after I hear what they're saying and here going on with them. And here they check on the bad mind and they hit it towards progress in Silverton. Now I walk him and make report and they just stand down there. And nobody in a complain, I do nothing about that. And they look at the one stand, they think, we find these people taking up the stand with this wife in tongue. That's why they go and we pull up the whole of Silverton. If one stand that the outside and that's the best thing. And they finding all kind of fault because they know why you are still. All kind of fault they find you and tell me these people have human beings thinking that if we say we're going to criticize something, I say, well, okay, if we do better, we're going to do something else better and all kind of thing, but you're going to deliberately bad mind that and I wanted to progress because of what? A government who you figure you should be obstructing you from getting into power. So you do the kind of thing to keep away progress and opportunity from children too. And how your children and them voting behind you too, to see the supporting you and the stupidness to hung up this future and all kind of thing. And you ain't mean nothing to them than yourself? Well, let me just say, brother, hello, Avan.
All right, buddy. Yeah, so it's our responsibility to definitely distance yourself from the dishonest comments. Neither Denny or I nor Star Radio align ourselves with those comments, and we can come and say, and we can agree with the statements made. We have another call. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me turn this off. I remember when Bill Victor won the election in 1984. There was a motorcade gathered down by the fish market down there, and I pray to God that every single car and every bus been in that demonstration that wanted him to get into power and his armor. It took 17 years to get that man out of power, you know.
Yes.
And he won every seat in 1989.
Yes.
He is the one that brought in this, I don't want to be derogatory, but he's the one that brought in Dr. Friday. And what he thought it was a legacy he was going to give us or something, I don't know. But the thing is, conflict is something that has been in this place, in this world from time immemorial. And they happen, they are played out, and the players all despair and go their way.
Yes.
17 years was a long time for him to be in Finland's politics anyhow.
It was.
And by the time you get to studying every single thing, you really wonder just what it is that people are looking for. And in the end, I just come to the conclusion that they are not their nature is not sensible. I can't find the words of what I don't want to describe it. But I heard the remark he made. And he's not suitable to be taken over any country. Anyhow, there's one other little point. Let me come off of him. I listened to an interview with Hard Talk, BBC the other day on the Seychelles, and it would be very good if you all could find. I don't know how you pick up these, yeah? But that man in Seychelles he is discussing his country, and the Seychelles sound very much like the Caribbean of St. Vincent to me.
It is.
And it will be very good if you study Hard Talk trying to get him to say something. That man did not budge, and he was very courteous in every single thing. They apparently are mostly of African extraction in the Seychelles, and he was. I really had to admire him, but he was just voted in for the last 2 years in the Seychelles, and every time you ask him something about the drugs in the Seychelles, very plainly said the last government that was in did not know how to handle it, and he has set out tactics. It was very, very good. Anyhow, John must try find it and take a good look at it. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. Thank you. Always a pleasure hearing from a good friend, very close by. Yes, branches. Yeah.
Donny, I mean, you hear the calls from the you didn't comment from our callers for listening, and we have somebody as we pick up the 5-star general, as we see what the police call him, the van driver from Korea, Jacqueline Bascom, also from Korea, jump on the live and hail up to so hailing up Jacqueline from Korea as well, and all the comrades up there in Korea and in Morocco, totally, like big you up, including partner Pampers. But anyhow, so the truth is that, and our reality is, then he spoke to the fact that we upgraded from 5% to 6% growth. The idea of GDP growth may be abstract. It's numbers. I would rather talk, while we use that as indicators and so on, and absolutely. But let me talk about what I see now. Yeah? Let me talk about what I see. You see in the construction going on. You see in the homes constructed by ordinary Vincentians. You see the vehicles now, then they reach Z. They reach Z.
Correct.
Yeah? You see what's going on. You see the people going to work, the young people going to work, the young people who are on yes and set on site and employed in the private sector and so forth. Private sector ain't going to employ if they're making the money, if the economy so bad that the opposition try to make it song. You see the type of entertainment that going on. You see businesses springing up and doing well. So we could talk GDP, yes, but those of us who can't calculate GDP and who can't look at the whole national context. Okay, I know I'm saying it. Those of us who to whom GDP is just an abstract number, a concept, or GDP growth. What I mean, unless you're an economist, you can't delve into and dissect the whole thing about the GDP. But what we could talk about is what we're seeing. The family that you knew, you have a call?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oops, sorry. The family that you knew had nobody past secondary school that now has to graduate, that just put on an addition and renovated the house, where now a car parked by the gate. That's what we're talking about, And I am sure many, many, many of you listening, regardless to who you support, can speak to such a family in your neighborhood. So yeah, you could talk about GDP and GNP and so forth, and absolutely those are indicators used globally to track the progress, the growth, the economic performance of a country. But let me track the individual progress. Look at the individuals in your community. Look at the families in your community. And see how their lives have improved. We ain't talking about the social media and general media concept of flashing dollars. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to get rich, that's your business. And if the only how you count in progress and development is somebody doing dollars so and $20 up in a club and drinking more, then you on a path to whatever you're going and wherever you're going. But if you understand that progress and development, especially on an individual level, is where you see the access to education improved and people's children, poor people's children, going to school, doing their subjects, going on to university, coming back trained, getting proper jobs, and able to improve the circumstances of their families. Until you understand that's what true progress is. The progress that doesn't trickle down, but bubbles up. We ain't doing trickle down economics and trickle down development. We're doing bubble up development and bubble up economics, where we go to the grassroots and we ensure that we touch the ordinary working class Vincentians and watch them improve, come out of abject poverty and go into a middle class, making our societies better, making our countries better, contributing to the national development. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And you, every member of this Vincentian society, can point to where those things are happening around you. You're hearing the lies, absolutely, but you're seeing the progress. And what your eyes are telling you can and should dispel the lies that you are hearing. What more you want? What more evidence you want? There's a song that comes to mind when I used to go to church. I need no other evidence. I need no other plea. Eh? Yep. It is enough that Jesus died and rose again for me. Well, we need no other evidence, because it is enough to see our students going to secondary school and going to college. It is enough to see our students going off on scholarships. It is enough to see the hotels and so on that are coming here. It is enough to see the airport out there. It is enough to see the port being constructed. It is enough to see the Rabaka Bridge. And there's plenty. It's enough to see the modern medical. And just now we inaugurate the MRI facility. It is enough that ULP has done all these things and done them for all a week. And with that, I do wish you all a good weekend.
Yeah, this is where we wrap it up here on a Friday morning. Again, another program with a lot of substance and factual information. That's just how we do it each and every morning here on the Star. So God's willing, Monday coming. Enjoy the weekend. Don't overdo too much, but still enjoy. And we'll catch you, of course. The lady Giselle should be up next. Continue to keep it out here on Star.
On Friday, May 19th, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of $102,000. A new home, car, or that college education.
Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Next Lotto jackpot, $102,000.
The Yellow Band Movement and the Carnival Bands Inc. presents the ultimate all-white fete, Ivory Soiree.
Congo drum in the engine room.
Ivory Soiree on May the 28th at the Victoria Park Lawn with 8 top steel orchestras. Mass presentation. Venue transformation, trendy soca, reggae and calypso music, plus top DJs, trending artists, table and bar services, smoke zone, tokens and giveaways. It's Mass meets Steel Pad with plenty vibes. Admission $20. Show starts at 5 p.m. The ultimate all-night launch party. Ivory Soiree. Sunday, May 28th. Be there at Victoria Park Lawn. Ready to unleash the energy in the engine room. Sponsored by National Properties and the CDC.
Out with the old, in with the new. In the past, you complained when we failed. We listened and went back to the drawing board. At last, a new, fresh beginning. A fresh face, a new product. International Standard Metals A792 presents Galvalume, an aluminum roofing metal, branded best used for roofing material, tested and proven to be of